If you've ever attended a party, chances are the party people have helped you celebrate. The family-owned Sydney-based business began in 1985 and since then have serviced more than 500,000 parties. Chief Party Dude Dean Salakis joins us now in the studio. Dean, thanks so much for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you could take us back to the beginning, 1985, that's a long time to be doing parties. How did it all begin?
Yeah, my mum started the business. I was pretty young. I was about 2 years old, I think, at the time when my mum started it, and she was doing, she was a clown. She was helping people have parties, and back in the 80s, parties were a little bit different than they were today. I mean, she would go out there and she'd make the chocolate crackles and the fairy bread and help them clean up and all that sort of stuff, and that's how it kind of started.
So she was hired as an entertainer?
Yeah, she was an entertainer.
Sure.
And then she decided to open up a little kids' party venue, which didn't go so well, but the retail was going really, really well. So she had a little bit of retail in there, and the business sort of grew into become a party store, and it sort of just, the story started from there.
Your grandfather was working in the business as well?
Yeah, my mum and my grandfather actually started the store. She asked him for a few $1,000s to help her start it up, so he went into business with my mum.
The bank of mum and dad, still a subject we talk about even today. It's so crucial.
And these days it's you and your brother, so very much a family business. What can you tell us about how the two of you run it?
So, yeah, my brother and I both took over the business in about 2007. He runs operations, so he does everything to do with the majority of the team, and I run finance, marketing and growth, essentially.
So you launched, this is a really interesting part of the business from where we were sitting, was that you launched so early online, back in 1999, which, as far as I understand, that was before some of the biggest players in online retail were even doing it. So what made you do that? Why were you such an early mover?
Look, it was my mum's idea, actually. I was in high school at the time, so she decided,
There's Mum. There she is on the screen there now.
Oh, great. Yeah, there she is. And she was an entrepreneur. She decided to start the business to begin with, and then she decided to go online because she had this crazy idea that people would be able to shop from home anytime, anywhere. Just crazy. What was she thinking?
I remember how crazy that was, because I remember my mum did a couple of online supermarket shops in 1999. I remember because of the year of school I was in.
Yeah.
It was so out there to be doing that. I was so proud of my mum. My mum shops on the internet, I mean, it was such a, people were not doing that as commonplace thing at all.
Yeah, and my grandfather was pissed that she spent 20 grand on, on a website.
Because that's what Chris and I are talking about. It's not just a decision, we'll go on the internet. You make a big investment at that point that has to pay off, right? So it was 20 grand at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which would have been big at the time.
It was massive, yeah. It was a massive investment. But and even then, we were getting one order a week and we were so excited.
It's not exactly paying for itself at that point, is it?
No. But I mean, it started to grow. One a week turned into, one every couple of days, and then one a day, and then multiple a day, and then it just, really started to grow. And then in 2007, when my brother and I took over, we really decided to accelerate things, and that's when it really just...
Why? How did you do that? How did you accelerate the online?
Look, we made really small changes. We went from a shipping system that was calculated to making it $9.95 flat shipping, small changes like that. And just taking off the budgets on our marketing, Our parents had a little bit more of a focus on yellow pages back then, and we went, nah, let's go hard on Google. And we went really super sort of strong on the digital marketing, and that just launched the business.
And now, as I understand it, you get a whole lot of your sales come from online. One of the stats we read was even 1 every 9 seconds comes in. So how do you keep up with that kind of demand? Yeah,
look, as you grow, you learn to tackle those challenges in terms of volume. I mean, when we started, we were working from a little small store, and then we took on the next door lease, and we were working double shifts. So the business just sort of was a beast that we were trying to contain for a while there. And today it's much more efficient. We've become much more mature, and we've got a packing area, and we pack and we dispatch, and we have roll cages that we roll out the parcels, and it's a whole lot more efficient today than it was when we used to drive the parcels up to Australia Post because there was no system to come and pick them up.
What's the big investment money-wise you've had to make in the last few years then?
Certainly in the new store. We opened a new store in Drummoyne in 2011, which was to be a retail business and a pick and pack operation combined, and that was, I would say, our biggest investment in infrastructure and systems and processes to be able to allow us to scale and keep growing.
Forgive my ignorance here, what's pick and pack?
So pick and pack orders for the internet business.
Oh, I see, right, okay. So are you worried at all about Amazon and these other big online retailers potentially, taking some action away from you?
Yeah, look, we always keep an eye on the landscape, and that's one thing I think we've been really good at is trying to see where internet, where retail's going in general. You know, and I think with Amazon coming, we certainly had a look at it, and we've been looking at what's happening overseas. But party's a little different to some other categories. Like with party, you tend to buy 5 or 10 or 20 for us items that are, you know, under $5, and you curate your party. People don't tend to shop like that on Amazon because you've got to buy from multiple resellers.
Yes.
And then the shipping's in there because Amazon Amazon don't stock items under $15, so you've got to buy from resellers, and it's just a bit of a mess if you're trying to curate a party. So even overseas, party still isn't really affected by Amazon as much as other categories. Like, I mean, costumes for us is affected, but because that tends to be a single item purchase, but other categories not so much.
Although last night we were talking about how Amazon is almost kind of reinvigorated consumer behaviour online, and in fact overall everyone's online much more in the last year, possibly because of, say, the entrance of Amazon and the way that's changing things, and you know, everyone have to kind of scramble to reinvest in their own offerings, etc. What have you found the last year? Have you felt there's a different mood about, or a different behaviour amongst consumers in any way?
Look, I think there's always been a trend there that more people are looking online. I mean, most people start their purchase online. We're seeing majority of people finish it in store, but the majority of people are starting that purchase online. And I think Amazon helps that, you know, the fact that there's more information available, more products available. People now have access to a global marketplace. So there's more choice out there for consumers, and they're going online.
Which makes it tricky
up.
for you guys as well. But you're also trialling a checkout free scan and go app.
Yes.
So this is quite revolutionary actually in store. Tell us how that works.
So it's an app that allows customers to scan the products themselves, and then...
So in the shop, walk in, get the app.
Get the app on their phone, which you assume they might already have it. They can scan their credit card even with a photo, and it puts all the details in there. And then they can walk around and scan products and throw it in their bag and essentially walk out. I mean, at the moment we do check the receipt. That's part of the process at the moment because we're still trying to learn how consumers are going to use it. But
they don't mind you trialling it on them? They're happy to...
Yeah, look,
it's part of the experiment.
I think there's quite a few people that are quite interested, intrigued by it, and love the idea of it. So quite a few of the people that are actually using it are actually quite passionate and love it, and they're telling their friends and saying, check this out, how cool is this? I can buy stuff and scan it myself.
Dean, we haven't got much longer, but I want to ask you about investment and how it's been, because I know that 3 years ago you were on the Shark Tank pitching your business, which you know, not that many people can do. So, you know, first of all, how did that go? And what's it like kind of trying to grow your business at the moment?
Yeah, look, it's quite. We went on Shark Tank and we pitched, and as you know, the people that watched it saw that we got an offer from Jenny and Alice, and we turned down in the end. Since then, I mean, we've been focusing on growing organically, and one of the things we are looking to do is open more bricks and mortar stores, and we are looking at the ways to do that, and investment is one of them. Franchising, we're looking at a bunch of alternatives at the moment to look at how we might roll out those stores, and there are some options that. I mean, Shark Tank really opened a lot of doors for us. So there are some options available to us which we're just exploring at the moment.
Yeah, which is always going to be a difficult decision. You do have 2 toddlers at home who are getting ready to get their hands dirty in the shop soon,
They're going to start working. We're going to work.
How old are they?
1.5 and 2.5.
They're almost ready.
They are ready.
They're almost ready. They probably hang around the shops anyway, do they? It's not hard being a party shopper.
They love it. They come in and
sure they do.
It's fun, yeah. It's good fun at the moment. They're not ready to start doing some stuff yet.
No, I reckon you can get them scanning. They'll be scanning in the next 6 months, I reckon.
Well, people will be scanning themselves, so we won't need them for that.
Yeah, well, that's true. Oh, well, they've already been displaced even before they started. Chief Party Dude, Dean Salakis, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
From the Party People.